Don't want to waste your time and money looking for your next whiskey? Well, join us as we try your favorites right here on our Short Pour. We try them before you buy them. It's the Short Pour series here on Distilled Bourbon Podcast, and today we're trying Green River Wheated, one of our favorite companies. We'll see if this one passes the Short Pour test. We're going to try the nose. We're going to try the taste. We're going to talk about the value and see if we're going to buy a bottle, a pour, or leave it on the shelf.
Well, like you would expect, a wheated, it's got a nice sweet nose on it.
It's sweet. Oh, it's sweet.
So let's ask Aaron.
I'm not a
Mr.
wheated
Nose.
fan. I'm all about rye.
That's okay.
But this happens to be a wheated bourbon that passes the rye test, if that makes sense.
It's very sweet on the nose, though, for me.
It is very sweet.
But there is a burn on the back of the when I take it to the nose.
I don't get that.
I get no burn.
A little bit of burn on the back.
Well,
Fellas, taste this.
Aaron has a little
Going from that sweet on the nose to the taste, I do not get the full sweetness. I do get sweet, but not to the same extent.
Isn't that funny?
So this one to me is not overly sweet like most wheated bourbons. The
Right.
typical Buffalo Traces, if you will.
Yeah.
This is, I would love to know the mash bill because it's sweet, but it's not overpowering.
Right.
Pappy Van Winkle, Weller's, some of those are just so sweet to me. It's like
Syrup.
it's syrup. Yeah. It's like, if you compare a sweet wine as opposed to like a cab, if you will, or a Pinot Noir that's a little less sweet. This to me is not like that at all.
Yeah.
This is a wheated bourbon that everybody who says they're a rye heavy fan would buy.
I agree. Yep.
So we're going to be doing a longer podcast before too long about what we would recommend to new bourbon drinkers. This is, I'll tell you, this is one of my ones on the list where this is the best wheated introductory bourbon out there, in my opinion. And Green River's come a long way from O.Z. Tyler, man. They're doing some great things over in Owensboro.
The great thing about O.Z. Tyler and, Green River is they owned up. They knew the product they were producing was subpar, and now they're producing this.
Oh,
Yeah.
now they are world class.
They're big dogs.
Yes.
100%. And there are other brands across the world that are distilling from Green River.
I'd like to know how many brands, how many labels source out of Owensboro, Green River now, because their juice is just
I would say
good.
there's an NDA that says they can't talk about it.
I'm sure.
It's just like every distillery we go to.
I bet it's 40.
I bet it is.
I bet it's
50
even
different
higher.
At
I bet
least.
it's higher.
I say at least. Yeah.
Oh.
Because I say at least because MGP, about a year or two ago, and you may know more about this than me, but I spoke to Andrew Powell briefly about how MGP went from basically sourcing everybody to being very limited, and they have to have scale, if you will, for you to be sourced from MGP.
Yep.
And just think about Penelope in 2018. They have scale now, but back in 2018, MGP didn't know what they were going to do.
Yeah.
And they're just massive. So a lot of those people that would go to MGP originally are now going to Green River or Bardstown, which is owned by the same company.
Now, you're not a wheated fan necessarily, but you're buying a bottle of this?
Absolute. Yes. For $35. Yes.
Look at the way he caught it.
35 bucks, man.
Yes.
35
my,
bucks.
Aaron?
my mom watches this podcast, so yes.
I am not a wheated fan.
Yeah.
I'm rye.
Mm-hmm. But if you're going to have a wheated in your bar,
This is it. I'm buying a bottle.
Chuck, what do you think, buddy?
Look, I like wheated. I like rye. I'm like the United Nations. Can't we all just get along? This is a nice product. I like it a lot.
You just don't like Japanese products, is what you're saying.
I'm afraid you're right. I don't like a smoky
Konnichiwa.
product.
There you go.
But yes, I think this is a terrific product. I love this.
I bought 2 bottles of this today. I just like it. It's a great wheated product for me. I don't reach for wheated often anymore. I've kind of evolved into more of a rye for bourbon drinker kind of guy, but this is fantastic, and I will always keep this. It's that good. And I'm just so happy that Western Kentucky has such a fantastic distillery. And man, what a fun tour they have. You should go to their tasting room. You should go see what not a craft distillery is, but a nice moderate to large size facility.
It's a big distillery. Yeah. They've got a column still that I think is 54 inches. I mean, it's a hoss. Yeah. This thing is
those fermentation tanks are huge.
It's a workhorse distillery, but this is an excellent product.
Yeah. And the one thing I'll say about Green River, I'll pay homage to Charles Medley, who was Medley Distillers.
For sure.
Green River has DSP number 10 due to Charles Medley.
Yep.
Even though they closed down in the 90s, he continued to pay that DSP fee, which in return he was able to give Green River for a large fee.
Right.
That DSP number, undisclosed fee. That DSP number, which I just enjoyed the history of it.
The whiskey without regrets. I regret trying to say that. The whiskey without regrets.
The whiskey without regrets.
Is still doing it, and they're going strong. And we recommend this bottle absolutely. So there you go. If you'd like for us to try your favorite bourbon or something you're interested in but haven't quite pulled that trigger on yet, send us a comment. Send us a Facebook message, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and let us know what you're thinking. And please drink responsibly.